Hi, everyone. Today we're going to be working on Module 3, Unit 3, Lesson 7, which is writing opinion text, drafting the introduction of a broadside. So here are our learning targets. I can identify prepositional phrases in a sentence, and I can write an introductory paragraph for my broadside, giving context on the issue and clearly stating my opinion. So the first thing you need to do is go to your module workbook, open to page 119. We're going to look at this prepositional phrases chart together first. So if you are watching this at home, go on and pause until you are ready to move on to this prepositional phrases section. Okay. All right. Now, so looking at this prepositional phrases chart, we are first going to read this definition. Okay. Prepositional phrases are a group of words that state the relationship between a noun and another word in the sentence. Remember, the noun is the person, place, thing, or idea. Okay. So you are, we're going to look at, let's keep looking. It says prepositional phrases answer questions like which one, what kind, how, when, and where. Okay. Person, place, thing, or idea. So here are some common prepositions. So there are time prepositions, like after, around, at, before, between, during, from, on, until, at, in, from, since, for, during, or within. There are location prepositions. Okay, so words that show location: above, across, against, along, among, around, at, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, by, down, in, inside, into, near, up, off, on, opposite, out, over, past, through, to, toward, under, and underneath. There are direction or movement prepositional phrases like at, for, from, on, to, in, into, onto, and between. And you'll notice some of these fall in more than one category. Manner, like by, on, in, like, and with, and belonging is of. There are other types like by, with, of, for, by, as, and like, and I see by in there a few times, but those are just a few examples. Okay, so let's look at the first example there on page 120 of your module workbook. So it's going to be this page right here. It looks like that. Okay, so flip over and look at that. So the first example is, well, that flag will never fly in this house. Okay, so you might remember, I don't remember if it was Robert or Mary saying that on page 43 of Divided Loyalties. So we need to identify the noun or the verb. Okay, in this instance, it is will never fly. And the prepositional phrase is showing us the location. Where? In what? In this house. So the preposition is in, and the prepositional phrase is in this house. Okay. Yes, house is a noun. It is a thing, but it's talking about the flag as the noun. And then here, this is the prepositional phrase. Okay. So look at the next one. We must leave New York and go to New Jersey. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify the noun or the verb in the sentence, okay, and then the prepositional phrase. So if you're doing this at home, this should say go, and the prepositional phrase is to New York. Okay, person, place, thing, or idea. The thing is go. And there should be two more. So we're going to write those in. And if you are doing this at home, the first one is, if we choose to fight, we are showing that we value the people on one side over another. Okay, and this is from a passage that we read together in class last week. And then in the middle, it should say the people on one side and then over another here. And in your last blanks, we can take no part in that violence. Take no part goes here, in that violence goes there. Okay, so prepositional phrases are words that show the relationship between a noun and another word in the sentence. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to open up this characteristics of broadsides anchor chart, and you should open it and leave it in a window separate. Okay, so here it is. And really quickly, just read through this. Remember, broadsides are posters announcing news, information, or events, and they're calling for people to support a certain issue or cause. So broadsides do these things. They share opinions, they give reasons and evidence, right? A lot like opinion writing of authors. They try to convince the reader of something. They share details. They have words that stand out. So normally we're like, put it all in 14 font and make sure it's Arial. Well, here you might want to have words that stand out in bold or italics or that are all capitals. There might be large headlines. The introduction paragraph stands by itself. It might have columns. It might have a date or location. It might have printed by or by on it. It might start with, "Dear gentlemen," or "sirs," right? They weren't talking to ladies here. They were talking to the dudes. And here's what each of our things needs to contain. So our introduction paragraph is what we're focused on today. It needs to be catchy. It needs to catch the reader's attention. It needs to give the context. So it's briefly explaining the event leading up to the revolution and who the patriots and loyalists are. And it needs to have a focus statement that gives an opinion about whether the colonists should or should not support the revolution, the American Revolution. Now, on Friday, you plan on page 112 in your module workbook. So you should open to 112 in your module workbook, and it is actually there, your plan for what you're going to type today, okay? All right, now, I would leave that, oops, I made an error, sorry. I would leave that open, and I would then move on. So what you're going to do is, like I said, you are going to work on your introductory paragraph today. You're going to use the plan you created on page 112 to help you write your paragraph. You're going to type it in the Google Doc that is attached to today's EL assignment. That Google Doc for my homeroom, is here, okay? So, and I'm assuming Miss O'Brien will have attached this for her and Miss Stouthammer's homerooms as well. All right, so the broadside writing, you're going to be typing your broadside below. Make sure you're indenting. Make sure you're putting punctuation. You can add those capitals. You can add all those things in. For now, we're just going to do it kind of in essay format, but you can make words stand out, be bold, italics. You can make them all capitals. If it's an important word, like you want your people to be patriots, maybe you capitalize patriot and do it in bold. All right. And today we're doing this section only, lesson 7, the introduction. So you're going to click here and you're going to type the introduction paragraph below. Okay. Leave everything else alone. Do not move on. Do not go ahead. Do not pass go or collect $200. Just type your introduction today. All right, so you're going to have time to work on that in class. So go ahead and pause the video if you're working on this at home. Make sure you work on it and get that introduction typed, again, using your plan from page 112. And then you are going to come back to me. So unpause when you're done. All right, so here are our learning targets that we're reviewing one more time. I can identify prepositional phrases in a sentence. I think we did that. And I can write an introductory paragraph from my broadside, giving context on the issue and clearly stating my opinion. And I think we have done that too. Do not turn your Google Doc in when you're done typing today. We're going to be working on it every day this week except for Wednesday, because Wednesday is a remote learning day. Hope you had a wonderful day, and thank you for getting this done. Bye, friends.